can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you get your podcasts on all major platforms. Wow. Well, welcome to the PlayCallers POD. It is Monday. It is Monday, right? Yeah. It's that time after Christmas to New Year's where you really don't know what day is what and what's going on. So
everybody's trying to get over the food coma and get back into the gym.
Right. Trying to get there before New Year's hits. So welcome. Nice to see you, Coach Kirk Broussard. How was your holidays?
It was great. A lot of food and some family, and it was great to watch the kids get their Christmas and get their Santa Claus, and it's always about the kids.
It sure is. It's tougher when they're older though. Like I have teenagers, so it's not the same. Yeah. You have kids at great ages, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Chris Williams unable to attend tonight. He may pop in, who knows, along the way, but some technical difficulties on his end. So, but we will eventually get some updates from his HBCU Pigskin Classic at some point. And it's just the two of us tonight. But if you have a comment or you would like to chime in or you want to talk about something, please feel free to comment in the comment section and maybe share that we're live. Go right ahead. We like that. So football this week was kind of crazy because we had football like Monday, Tuesday, and then the holidays hit. And then it was like, it was Christmas Eve. Then there was Christmas Day. It's just been good. I'll tell you, that made my holidays great. Knowing that football was on.
But NBA also has some really good NBA games on Christmas Day.
Yes, and unfortunately, hockey is shut down right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited about all the sports we had around the Christmas time, but I went to my sister-in-law's house and they didn't have any games on, and I'm like, this has got to be sacrilegious or something. Like, you got to have a game on Christmas. Yeah, and
it's on.
Yeah, my nephew normally texts my sister-in-law and says that if you don't have sports on and alcohol, I'm not coming. And so yeah. They didn't have either. They had no sports, no alcohol, but luckily we were able to stream some games from his Google TV. So it worked out.
Wow. Yeah. Jeez, tough situation to be in. Family, football, which one do you pick? So, well, let's recap because it is just the two of us. Let's talk about making a headliner right now. I want your opinion on Micah Parsons. I hope I said that right. He's making records, but people are comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. What are your thoughts on this? On Micah? I mean, you're the coach.
Yeah, well, I know Bobby's probably excited about this because he's a Penn State. Well, he's a Notre Dame guy, but he lives in that area, So I liked him when he came out of Penn State. He was a combine beast. Set all these combine out ridiculous numbers. So I liked him when he came out. And if you recall, if you go back a few shows, I predicted he would be in the NFL Defensive Player of the Year conversations, and he is. He's on course to break Javon Curse's rookie sack record. He only needs 1.5 more sacks, and he's all over the field. I mean, he's in the backfield, and I mean, Lawrence Taylor comparisons, that's not fair. And I think Micah Parsons even came out and said that, like, LT's a legend. Don't compare me to him. But I mean, if you want to compare their starts, I think LT came into the league with 9 sacks, and this kid is over 14. So he's setting the NFL on fire, and he has it now where every team has to pay attention to him, and they have to scheme around where he's lined up at.
Yeah. And we have Chris Williams joining us. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, Chris. How's it going?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Good to see both of y'all.
Excelente.
Nice.
How are you?
Nice to see you. So we're talking about Micah Parsons. What's your opinion on Micah? He is breaking records. A lot of people are comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. What are your thoughts on this, Coach Chris Williams?
We were watching the game last.
Okay.
Oh, we lost him.
We lost him. He just stopped in, then he's gone. Okay, sorry about that, Coach Kirk Broussard. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are comparing him, and I know, like you just said, like people are like, well, he's saying, well, he doesn't want to be compared to anyone. But speaking of Lawrence Taylor, greatest defensive player of all time, is it him or Reggie White? I figured, I would lean more towards Reggie because he's more dominant. But what's your take on this one?
That's one of those opinions that can go either way because Reggie was unstoppable. LT was unstoppable. They play slightly different positions. So I think it really comes down to which position is more important to a football team on the field. And I think LT just had the ability to change the game, from a pass rush perspective, getting to the quarterback. He was elite at that. And that can really change the course of a game. Not taking anything away from Reggie. He was elite at that as well with his patented club move and all the things that he brought to the game. But, if I had the number one pick and I had those two guys on the board and I needed to go, it wouldn't matter if I had to go defense or not. I would go defense because that's a generational type talent. It's kind of tough to say, but I think I probably would go LT just because, like I said, of what he can do on the edge and how he can affect the game. But, I think Reggie White's a close second.
Okay. Well, it looks like Bobby's saying that he's going to be the next king, according to our headline here. So
if he can continue to perform like this consistently, I think you definitely would see him in a gold jacket down the line. So
yeah. Okay.
He's nice.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you have said a lot of things about Lawrence Taylor. So, I mean, we like you said, we can go back and, I mean, you nailed it. You pegged it. You said it.
Yeah.
So I guess you do know what you're kind of talking about.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I said Micah Parsons, and I said Aaron Donald or Micah Parsons would get some NFL MVP consideration. Mm-hmm. And I think if Tom Brady hadn't been tearing it up the way he is, I think it would go to a defensive player. I thought Myles Garrett would be in that conversation as well, but I like what Parsons is doing, and he's on a great team that's going to make a great playoff run. So he's really going to be able to make big plays in meaningful games, and that's just going to catapult his legendary rookie season that he's having.
Let's talk about Green Bay Packers. 4-game winning streak. I have to say, I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm changing everything I've ever said from the beginning of the season. But I'm feeling this is that Aaron Rodgers is going to make a statement. This is it. This is his moment. Yeah. He made sure that it played out this way, and I feel like it's going to go that way.
Yeah. I think you're going to see Dallas and Green Bay in Green Bay. And I think with that climate, that cold weather, I think you're going to see Green Bay get the better of that situation and move on. I think this is Aaron Rodgers' year. He took a lot of backlash at the beginning of the year, but when you break him down statistically, and I know we're going to get into this later, but when you break him down statistically, he is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. When you look at his TDs to interception ratio, it's unreal. The guy, he never turns the ball over. He's only thrown like 93 picks versus over 400 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And no one has those type of numbers. Now, he doesn't have the championships like Brady. So you got to, Brady has the numbers and the championships. So to me, Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. But Aaron is in that top 3 conversation, and no one can take that, can't argue with me about that, I believe.
Well, if you're watching and you have a comment about anything that we're saying, please put your 2 cents in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Even if you're watching this on a playback, put your comments there. We will get to you, even if we are not live. So we were talking about Green Bay. I said, yes, I feel like they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's one of my directions that I'm heading in. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Now, did you see the interview he did socially distanced with Aaron Andrews?
I saw some memes about that, but I didn't catch the details about it. What happened?
Okay, so they did it socially distanced, of course, right? And it looked great on camera. But then after the interview, people saw them hugging unmasked.
Wow.
Like she was congratulating him, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was the only reason for the hug. And they're friends and everything. But there's now backlash saying, well, you just did an interview and you socially distanced, made it look good for the camera. But then you hug them right after when people had their phones out.
Yeah.
So taking a lot of backlash from that. And also, I mean, you brought this up, Aaron Rodgers, the greatest quarterback of all time, when you talk about his stats. Debatable, arguable, because as much as I hate to say this, and if you've watched so far, we're in season 2. We're almost at the end of season 2. I have a love-hate relationship with this man that I'm going to say will probably take this title, Tom Brady. Can you even go up against him?
You can't go up against that many championships. You just can't. You know, it's a team game. It's about winning championships, and he's forever going to be at the top of the peak in that regard. But in regards to being a pure thrower, a gifted thrower of the football, you can't find anyone besides maybe Dan Marino who's even close to the level of Aaron Rodgers. He's pinpoint accuracy. He doesn't throw many interceptions, and that's key in the NFL to protect the football.
Yeah.
And his touchdown to interception ratio, his passer rating is off the charts. And there's no one else that I can think of that's really in that conversation as far as statistically that can I mean, there's people you can argue that would be, you know, neck and neck with him, but I just think he stands out because I feel like he's the most gifted thrower of the football that we've seen when it comes to arm strength, accuracy, decisions with the football. I mean, he reigns superior in my book. But I think Brady is arguably in the same elite category statistically, but Brady has the rings also to back it up. And that's what puts Brady up.
Yeah, for sure. And then maybe that's why we would instantly say, okay, Tom Brady, because he has all those rings, right? But we'll see. But yeah, I definitely will say I agree that this is Aaron Rodgers' year. This is his moment. Do you think that he'll retire after this season?
No, I think he's too young to retire. As from a quarterback standpoint, I think he's still, you know, he's arguably, I mean, obviously he's a little bit at the end of his prime, but I think he sees what Brady's doing up until 44 years old. And I think he still has a window there to still put up more numbers. And I think he's narcissistic enough to want to hang around to put those numbers up. And I think he still feels like he can win at least 2 more championships.
Yeah, okay. But he's got to realize he's not Tom Brady. I mean, when you look at Tom, when you break Brady down, even to his diet and what he eats and this and that, his lifestyle, they have 2 different lifestyles. Could he possibly keep going until he's 44 years old?
Now, that's a good argument. That's unlikely. But can he go strong until 42 years old or 41 years old? That's extremely likely. And he still has a window to put up more numbers, more to potentially, you know, be in a conversation to win more championships. He still has a lot of opportunities to, you know, pad his career to get in that GOAT conversation.
And let's talk about the Cowboys now. Let's move directions. I mean, they've had extreme highs and extreme lows and not enough consistency through this season, which is very frustrating, especially if you are a Cowboy fan. Let's talk about the Cowboys and let's talk about Dax. What's your point of view looking at it from the coach's perspective on the sideline?
You know, I don't know if the Cowboys are that good or if Washington was that bad because he lit them up. I mean, he put up video game numbers, you know, versus Washington last week. So, you know, like I said, they're up and down. Maybe, you know, it could be one thing where Dak is just getting back into his groove. He was out for a while, came back a little bit rusty. People gave him a lot of hard judgment, and maybe he's just catching his groove back and getting back into the groove. And, you know, maybe this is the Dak you're going to see for the rest of the year. This is the Cowboys you're going to see for the rest of the year. It could be just one of those things where they're getting healthy and they're producing, you know. Well, I mean, what can I say? I mean, the Cowboy fans are Cowboy fans. I mean, they love their Cowboys. That's all.
I love my Giants too, but
Who did you have picked in that game? Dallas and Washington last week. Who'd you pick? Did you pick?
hold on, let me just bring this up because I was just checking because I actually am sitting at 10 right this week.
You got 10.
Yeah, I got 10 right in my pool.
Mm-hmm.
I took Dallas.
Okay.
I've got it up on my screen right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but anyways, yeah. I took Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is rolling now, so I look for them to finish strong. They clinched everything they need to clinch in the playoffs, and I think they're going to go in the playoff swinging. And but I think when they get to Green Bay, I think it's going to be Dallas and Green Bay, and I think those elements in outdoors in Green Bay is what's going to get them because they should have to go to Green Bay, I believe.
Okay. When I say this name, I want you to tell me what you think. I want you to give me your instant response.
Okay.
Byron Leftwich.
That's hard to say. Well, as a lot of people know, he's the offensive coordinator with Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. You know, part of me feels like he is a quality coach, but you know, I've been hearing his name circulating in the Jacksonville Jaguar candidate, talk. You know, do I think he's ready for that? Do I think he's the answer in Jacksonville? Mm-hmm. No. I would like to see him get an opportunity because he is a minority coach, and minority coaches rarely get opportunities. So I would be excited if he got the opportunity, and I would hope that he would do well. But I don't know if he's the answer, what they would need in Jacksonville to turn it around. I think they may lean in that direction because he's a quarterback specialist, and they want to get some good guidance around Trevor Lawrence, the franchise, the future of the franchise. So, you know, I would be excited if he got the opportunity, but personally, I don't think he's the answer in Jacksonville. I would look in another direction.
See, I was going to say that he would be great for the quarterback. Like he would be a great asset for the team.
Yeah, he would be a great mentor for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that, I think it's Byron calling the plays, but a part of me feels like Tom Brady's kind of his own offensive coordinator. You know, Tom Brady, I know Byron calls the plays, but I think Tom has a lot of input and Tom has a lot of freedom to change the play to get him in a better play. So a lot of that success, I'm not sure how much of it is Byron Leftwich and how much of it is Tom Brady, but I would like to see Byron Leftwich operate as an offensive coordinator without Tom Brady to really see what he can do.
Yep. Interesting. Joe Burrow obviously sets the Bengals franchise record in passing yards. Absolutely incredible moment for him. Let's talk about his performance. I mean, I know there's not really much that we can say except for wow, but let's talk about Joe Burrow.
Hey, video game numbers. I mean, he put up video game numbers this week, and you know, I mean, you got people jumping the gun and saying he's top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, and you know how they're quick to jump on the hottest thing going. But you know, I think the kid's talented, and I think Cincinnati has found their answer at quarterback. I think they need to stick with him. I think they need to focus in the draft around getting him more weapons and keeping him protected. You know, I like some of the things that they have at receiver, Jamar Chase, and I like Mixon in the backfield. I think they do have some good weapons, but I think they need to just add depth onto that, get another receiver to complement Chase. And I think they need to continue to build that offensive line around him to keep him upright and healthy. And I think the Cincinnati's found their quarterback, and that's hard to do in the NFL today.
Yeah.
So he had an amazing week. It was incredible. I mean, I only caught a little bit of it on the highlights. I wasn't able to watch that game, but it was pretty amazing to see what he did. And that franchise, you know, they've had Carson Palmer, who's put up big numbers. They've had Boomer Esiason, who's put up big numbers. So to set a franchise passing record in Cincinnati, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, job well done.
Yeah. And let's move along and talk about Kansas City. That game, oh my God, a blowout. Come on. They played with the Steelers, but good news, reports have come in that Clyde, the running back who left the game with a shoulder injury. They were worried about the collarbone being broken, but it looks like there's no structural damage. So he will be back. There's just some swelling, and so that's good news. That's good news for the Chiefs.
That's big.
Let's talk about them.
He's a key piece to the puzzle for them. I believe Patrick Mahomes came out and threw 3 touchdowns, and it seems like they're starting to get back in the win column, and they're starting to click at the right time, right before the playoffs. So, they still have things that are unanswered in Kansas City, but it's good to see them starting to get some momentum back in the right direction. And they're going to be a competitor. They're going to make some noise, in the postseason, because Patrick is still a difference maker at quarterback. I know he's had some up and down issues this year, but I feel like with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy around him, I feel like he's going to be able to, go into the playoffs composed and, be the Patrick Mahomes of old.
Yeah, because look at their season. We talk about like the Cowboys and their ups and downs and like no consistency. When you talk about the Chiefs, they've had their extreme ups, their extreme lows. But yes, You're right. He was able to like get a grip on it and like pull them back up. Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that is, with a lot of players being out with COVID, how much has that affected your rhythm? Because offensively, you want to get in a specific rhythm, and when you got random players missing games, that's tough to get in sync and have that rhythm that you need to be effective consistently. So I think the COVID outages have had some effects on the consistency of some of the teams.
And this was a week where a lot of players were put on the COVID list, the restriction list. And there was a lot of players that weren't playing.
They say 95% of the NFL is vaccinated, but they've been going out left and right. So.
Yeah, and again, I know we don't talk about this, but it's everywhere. I know where I am situated. We've had the highest amount of numbers since this whole thing has started back in 2022. So everywhere you go, somebody has it or knows somebody that has it. So anyway, moving along, that is what it is. The players are eventually going to get it. They have to have their backup. But what a time if that is the case for your key players to get sick. So going back to Rodgers, when he gave Aaron Andrews that hug, it's like, what were you thinking? Like, you of all people.
I feel like I feel like they have a friendship, and I feel like he's on thin ice with his public image, as far as respecting the COVID rules. So that's why you saw one thing on camera and you saw one thing off camera.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. Yep. Okay. So let's talk about the Browns and Baker. Do you think that that's it? His time's up. Should they give him a second chance or third chance or give him another chance? I'm on the fence about this because I'm like, you know what? Give him another season. Let's give him another season to see if that will be enough to be like, okay, I'm going to start playing the game. I'm not going to mess up because I only have one chance to get this right.
I think if you want another season of below mediocrity, then continue with Baker Mayfield, because I feel like Baker Mayfield is essentially Johnny Manziel sober, basically. So I think
interesting comment.
Yeah, I stole it from a meme, and I thought it was brilliant because he's Johnny Manziel, so he's a sober Johnny Manziel. What's the difference? Johnny makes great plays, splash plays, and he makes horrible plays when he had his time with the Browns. He wasn't consistent. And it's the same thing with Baker Mayfield. He's not consistent. He's a below mediocrity quarterback. And if that's what you want to continue with your franchise, you won't last long with that.
Hello, Mercury. Yes, we are live, and we are talking about football. We are live. So if you'd like to join our conversation, please do so. We only have a few more topics left. So interesting that you said that, because now I can't get it out of my head that Baker Mayfield is a sober Johnny Manziel.
Basically.
So
same guy.
You don't think that giving him one more chance is going to say it's like do anything? You're going to get the same consistent Baker no matter what.
In the National Football League, they expect instant gratification, and they don't have another year. The coaching staff, they're They don't want to end up on a hot seat trying to stick with Baker Mayfield. They better get a free agent in there, or they better draft a quarterback fast if they want to save their job, continue.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland. And Cleveland has been through so many ups and downs as a franchise. They seem to just can't get it right in the personnel department with their drafting, and now even their free agent moves. They did all that stuff to get Odell Beckham there, and that didn't work out. That franchise has just been cursed, it seems like. And I feel like
going to Cleveland, though. I like watching the games. I have been there.
They have
great tailgates.
They have great fans. Their fan atmosphere in Cleveland, they got an old stadium now. It's kind of old, but the fan atmosphere is incredible. And I actually played a couple games in that stadium. And I didn't play them, but I coached a couple games in that stadium, and the fans were ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane. It was a great experience. Actually, I've been back a few times to a couple games there because I just love the pregame, the tailgate, and even the after parties that happen. Even if they win or don't win, it's pretty good. So
yeah, I had some good fun. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yes. Any word on the Raiders? They're on a possible verge of the playoffs. This is from Mercury. Coach, you got anything you want to say about the Raiders?
When you look at the remaining games, they got the Colts. I think that's going to be a tough one for them to overcome because the Colts have had the Colts have gotten hot with Taylor. Taylor could be the MVP of the league, to be honest with you. I mean, he just ran away with it. So I think they're going to have trouble with him. And that game is in Indianapolis. That's going to be a tough game for them to win. And then you got the Chargers, who's got a budding young star at quarterback. That's going to be a tough competitive game as well. I think, if they could win, I mean, what do they got to win to come out of this thing? Let's see. They need to win. They're going to have to probably win both of those games because you got the Chargers are ahead of them. So they're going to have to beat the Chargers head-to-head, and they're going to have to beat the Colts. And I think that's going to be tough to do. I give them probably a 50% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, we have a big game tonight. Actually, we're just waiting. We are just waiting for kickoff because I don't think it's happened just yet. I think it's going to happen momentarily. So we got the Monday night game, Miami versus the Saints. Now, I made a pick for the Saints to win. Now, tonight, I was stressing because I couldn't change my pick, and I'm like, oh my God, I think the Dolphins might do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's your feedback on this matchup for tonight? Who are you going with?
This game is going to be tough because they got Ian Book showing up the quarterback. The Saints are going in this game with a fourth string quarterback. Their only saving grace is that the game is in New Orleans. They got the home field advantage here, and that helps. I liked Ian Book out of college. I really liked him, and I was surprised that he got drafted so low. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't have any experience. Miami's a well-coached team, like we've talked about here in the past on the show. I'm going to have to go Miami on this one, but I think it could potentially be a close game.
Yeah. I like I said, when I was doing the show reviews, I was like, okay, I think I screwed up on this. I think I messed up on my pick tonight, but we'll see. Because you're right. It could go either way.
You picked New Orleans?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know they were going to be playing with a fourth-string quarterback, probably, right?
No. I mean, I was just like, oh, I think they're going to win. Like, this is it. And then, it's just now I'm frustrated. So I'm playing with my hair and I'm getting all anxious because I hate losing.
They got their two quarterbacks that are out, and they're playing with this rookie that's never really played much.
I know.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
So you can't
wait for the chat later. Can't wait for the post-game chat.
Can you change your pick before kickoff?
Too late. No.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
right.
I do feel like the Saints will do it. I think this is going to be one of those. This is going to be a feel-good story. This will be the headline tomorrow.
Yeah.
This will be a headline tomorrow.
I'm going to go Miami.
Okay, so we are going opposite, which is good. That's fun. We can have a little bet on what's going to happen. Okay, so any other thoughts Let's talk about Feed the Kids. What's going on? Because there's some ways that people can help as well. They can help you out with your foundation because you do a lot.
Yes. So I know everyone's coming out of Christmas and money could be tight, but if you could just, if you could afford $5 or $10, every little bit helps. And what we're doing is our mission is we try to provide meals and foods for kids in orphanages in the Dominican Republic. Through my experiences there, people don't have much, they don't have much at all. It's not like the United States. It's extremely poor. And I have a first-hand relationship with several orphanages that I help them out of my pocket and with donations to provide food for those kids because, like I said, they don't have much. You got young babies that sit in the crib all day and no one ever holds them. They may get picked up to get a diaper change and then they get put back in this crib and they're young kids. And, just seeing that stuff firsthand, it's like, it's really heart-wrenching. And so I just try to do a little bit, whatever I can do, try to use this platform with the people that watch the show. And we'll put a link up on the show below when we post the show. You can go and make a donation to help me feed more kids in the Dominican Republic.
That's amazing. Well, thank you very much for everything that you do. And if you would like to support Coach Kirk Broussard in his in what he's doing to feed the kids, please, we will post the links. Help out as much as you can because, like you said, a few dollars goes a long way. And everybody it's hard. No matter if it's the holidays or not, it's hard all year round. So, well, that's it for us. It is time for Monday Night Football. You're taking Miami. I'm going with the Saints. I'm going with New Orleans.
Yeah,
It'll
Miami.
be an interesting game.
I hope the Saints win because I'm definitely a closet Saints fan. But if I'm gonna pick my best possibility, it'll be Miami. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. And now we want to thank you for watching and tuning in every Monday night and telling us your thoughts on the stuff that we talk about. And if you would like to sponsor or be a guest on the show because you're very passionate about football and you'd like to go up against the coaches, let us know. All you have to do is just send us a message. And don't forget to like and share the PlayCallers podcast.
Yep.
Well, that is it. Happy New Year. This is our last show of 2021.
Yeah.
This is it.
This year went by fast, even with all the stuff that we have to deal with COVID.
I know. Yeah. Looking forward to next year. So we'll see you next week. Have a good one. And thanks, guys, very much.
God bless.